Hi, everybody.
Trying to get there.
Okay.
One moment, please.
We love it that we welcome you into Tanya's home every week and then go, oh, excuse me, we have one small technical difficulty.
And we have some hat issues, some of us, because our heads are too big. Can you do it so it just stays on?
Oh, that would be wise.
Just flip
it.
We do know how to use our phones. Here we are.
And we have two cameras. We're trying to run a camera off of something here that you may not be able to see or may be able to see that'll get some better shots of the cards so we can edit them in when we post this on YouTube. It has a little better pictures of cards because we have found it difficult to show you the cards where you can see them and see the details. So thank you for joining us today. We are going green.
Hi, Janine. Hi, Beatrice.
And so we're going to do some St. Patrick's themed cards. And then we have some fun things to tell you. We are going...
That's the wrong one.
You got it?
We have an auction ending.
Yay.
Thanks, Carissa. She said nice hats, ladies.
You're welcome to borrow mine anytime.
Mine's already fallen off. You can't borrow Tanya's because she's taking it to New York City.
New York City.
Aren't you working, Riss? Are you on break? Is it your prep?
Flip it. Yeah.
We're almost ready.
Sorry,
We'll
guys.
get there.
Oh, no, we can be ready. We can tell you a little
Your
bit
face is in it.
about one of the reasons that we're going live today is one to show you some fun cards, and projects, but also to tell you a little bit about something exciting that we're doing in April.
Yes, we finally have all of the, well, not all of it. That would be an exaggeration. But we have the bones of our end stage ready. So we'll be sharing that with you at the end. But we can tell you it's the second Saturday in April.
April 13th.
Yep, second Saturday in April.
April 13th.
It's the same weekend that Stampin' Up! Is doing their on stage. And one of the points of us doing it is we found that we as a group have attended a lot of Stampin' Up! Events. But because when they've changed it so that there's April and November events in random places, we're having a harder time getting to a one-day event. So in Indiana, where we are, it was 9 hours to get to anywhere. And we figured the expense would average about $1,200. So we decided to do something here local for those of us who could not get to an event, but love getting together with other demonstrators, sharing ideas and business tips, doing some swapping and socializing. And we wanted an opportunity to do that with some friends around here and maybe some people we don't know.
Yep. So stay tuned after all of our stamping and we will fill you in on all the details on how you can come join us and how you can get in all the stamping and all the prizes. And the prizes actually start on Monday. This Monday? Yeah, the 4th.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're going to draw for the first prize on Monday because we're going to have some early bird registration. But we'll give you the details when we're all done showing you our fun little projects.
Yep. And so we would also appreciate it if you are, well, there's an online version and an in-person version. So no matter where you are in the United States, you can share it with people. But we'd love for you to share it with all of the people that you know. So whether or not you're in Indiana or whether you're any place in the United States. So if you're going to do the online version, you don't, or I guess it's not really online. It's the away version.
Yeah, it's like if you can't make it.
Yeah.
It's not online.
So you don't even have to be available on that day.
Yeah.
You can do that one whenever. So you can tell from our attire that we are going green today. So we're going to show you some St. Patrick's Day ideas. And the fun thing about the St. Patrick's Day ideas is you can switch them up to be any occasion ideas. So the one I'm going to show you, I'm going to do at my camp next week. So I'm going to show it to my girls 2 different ways. So I'm going to show you guys the St. Patrick's version, and then when I make my video for YouTube, I'm going to show the St. Patrick's Day, and then tomorrow on my Facebook Live, I'm going to do a pink version, which will be a birthday version. So that way at camp they'll be able to pick if they want to do a St. Patrick's one, or a regular, just a birthday version. Or congratulations. I'm going to use the cupcake, the sweet cupcake set, which is a celebration set. Hello Cupcake. So if you don't have it yet, this is it. And of course, for customers starting tomorrow, they'll be able to get the dies, and the dies are so much fun. So I'm going to show you a couple of tips and tricks with the dies. Is this one already recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to show you just a couple of different, I'm kind of scattered because I'm not going to make the whole card for you, but I'm also going to use, this is the sequins embossing folder, and it was last year's occasions catalog. But it goes with the theme of this card really well, and I wanted to be able to pull some gold into the card because, you know, green and gold. So I'm going to take, if I can find it, this is just a full quarter sheet of white cardstock. For my first mock-up card, I used like a 4" by 5 1/4, and I liked it better on my second one when I did like a full quarter. You know, sometimes we do it one way and then we're like, eh. So the second one I did this. So you just run this through once, and if you haven't used the sequins embossing folder, there's more sequins towards the bottom than at the top, kind of like the one that has the softly falling. So I wanted more sequins, so I've placed the paper as far down as I can. So it leaves you with this, which later you can watch the up close. I'll put this on later so you'll be able to see it. And then I took this little cake dome, which I love terrariums, I love cake domes, I love all those kind of things. I have several of them at my house. Do you only have new plates over here? I hate to cut on your new plates.
Yeah, that's fine.
Tanya's,
Well, got...
yes, that's better. Okay. I don't want to be the first one to cut on your brand new plate.
I love the fact that Stampin' Up! Starting tomorrow has come up with the coordination items that go with some of our favorite celebration sets. So there's Thinlit dies now that go with the Hello Cupcake, the frog set, and the lilies that you can get. So don't miss out. If you go to someone's website, it's the celebration coordination.
So here, I just laid it kind of towards the top. And then you want to keep this piece of paper, and I'll show you why, which if you watch my other video later, you would see the whole reason why, but you do need to save that. And it leaves you with this. So you have like the hole cut out. And then to stamp it, see how much of a mess I can make.
It doesn't take a very long time.
I know. I was so happy because I cleaned off my table this week, like seriously cleaned it off. And you know how exciting it is when your whole work table's finally cleaned off again, because it lasts for like one card.
Yeah.
And then it's done. So then I folded my card in half, and this is just a white piece of cardstock. And then you're going to lay this piece just on here. And this was why I liked the full one better. It just gave the full card a better look. So then that was to be able to figure out where to stamp it. I took the cupcake bottom, and I used Call Me Clover because I thought it looked the most of the St. Patrick's Day greens for this card. And so you just hold this where you want it to be because it's going to be raised up. Hi, Sarah. My phone's right where I'm stamping so I can see that you just joined us. So stamp this on here. So then later when you go to raise this up, it's going to be exactly where you need it to be.
That's just brilliant.
It's so cute.
So it'll be up like that. Okay. And then if you take the light Call Me Clover, and you don't want to color like a ton, because if you do, it will smear it. But just take the brush tip, and I just did every other one, so it would kind of give a stripey. And so when I do this at camp, I'm going to use probably maybe flamingo, because I want it to be pink, but I don't want it to look like Valentine's Day, because we've been there, done that just recently.
It's the St. Patrick's Day.
You could do orange and make it springy.
Yeah. I even thought about maybe doing purple.
Oh.
So I'm going to do a different color so it's birthday and not So that gives you that. And then a lot of people don't know what this little piece is, but it's the cake. So I did it in a lighter brown, and then I think in soft suede, and then I did the frosting on top in espresso. I know, Beatrice, it's hard for us to show you, but I'm gonna we'll have this on here later, the up close, so you'll be able to see it later. As soon as I get home and I'm able to edit this, then it'll be on here, and then you'll be able to see the up close, because we can't get all of us into this. We've tried, it just doesn't work. Then the last tip and trick I have is to show you this, which if you've used any of these little things on the foil, which are these, I'm going to run them through for you, and I'll have Tanya take them up and show you what I'm doing with them. So these are just on the gold foil, and the stamp set has, okay, let me remember, like the dies cut out most of the pieces. Almost everything on here comes with something to cut out, and then it has a cake stand, and it has birthday candles that are real cute that will fit here on the frosting, and then it has this little cake pick, or like a little cupcake topper. But when you run them through, here you can show them.
Oh, yeah.
I'll show you on here, and then you can show them up on that one. It gets dots. Like there's little dots. And I see a lot of times online that people just go ahead and stick those on their projects with those dots, but you don't have to put the dots on there. I mean, and on this one it wouldn't look horrible on the cake topper, but I don't know about you, but on my little thing at home, it doesn't have dots on it. So all you have to do is put them back in your Big Shot and put them kind of in the middle, and then take just a piece of, this is just a piece of typing paper, and just roll it back through.
Here, I can do it.
And when you roll it back through, that time it's just going to press them back flat again. And because Tanya has brand new, spanking new plates,
I can show that one.
It takes the dots away. So can you see it? Now they're nice and flat. So those little dots that it puts, I mean, it has to have the dots in there. That's how you poke them out. Otherwise, your paper would stay trapped in there forever. So then all I did to finish the card, I took some window sheet and I mounted it behind here. And then I used the foam adhesive strips and mounted it up here. So then what you get is this. So it looks like your cupcake's mounted behind
A glass cloche.
a glass.
Or cake stand.
And then I did take the gold shimmer paint, not the gold, the champagne mist that has a gold tinge to it, and painted the sequins.
How pretty.
And then on the inside is one of the words from the More Than Words, which is also a celebration coordination, and it says, "Today calls for something sweet." So no matter what card they do at camp, if they pick St. Patrick's Day or if they pick a birthday, it will work for those. And then the reason that you needed to keep this is because when you color this with your blends in here, it's going to bleed through. So all I did was I took this
Oh, that's a
and I
brilliant
mounted it back
idea.
there just so it kind of looked like the inside. But
Here, let me
you wanna
show 'em.
them? So it kind of covers up.
This is super cute. See how she put the inside?
It just covers up
Right
where
here.
it bled through. The alternative is to add one more sheet of cardstock, and it's already kind of thick already with the window sheet and a bunch of the foam strips and this little pick right here that has the shamrock on it. It's on a dimensional too, so I didn't really want to add one more sheet of full cardstock. And I did get that, which Susan's going to show you too. The shamrock's from The Amazing Life, which is perfect. It has a little four-leaf clover.
If you haven't seen it,
In it.
it's adorable.
That's a stamp set we were given at On Stage. So if you went to On Stage in Orlando in November, you were given that stamp set, so you already have it.
Yep. So that's what I have for you. So I've only used the Hello Cupcake. It was the very first celebration set that I used. And this is the second time that I've used it. So it was a lot of fun. I wasn't so much sold on it until we got the dies, but the dies make it a ton of fun.
So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to use that same stamp set, the Amazing Life stamp set that we got when we were at On Stage. And what I did was I did a couple of things. I'm just going to show you my card so I can kind of explain it to you. But I took, I just wanted to make it really simple. So I used some of my favorite things, and I went in, and if you haven't used ink in an impression folder, it's great fun. So I just took the white craft and I inked the lid. So the part where it says Stampin' Up, I put ink in it, closed it, and ran it through my embossing folder. And that's how I got the black and white detail. And again, we'll take a picture and post this underneath so you can get a better look at it. But then I wanted to make a little tag on it. So I used the tag punch and I tagged the top out. I took my granny apple, and everything I'm using comes from that stamp set. And I started...
Amazing Life.
Yeah. And I started down here, and I just stamped across the front of it. And then I wanted to go, I turned it so it went backwards, and then I stamped off each time. So in between each row, I have a darker, lighter pattern to it.
Super pretty.
Thanks. It's always good to stamp with friends. They like what you do. So this is the detail of that. And then I took my Good Luck and my Shamrock, and I stamped on it with Memento. So I put 2 adorable little shamrocks on here. And I put my Good Luck in the middle. And this could be St. Patrick's Day, but it doesn't have to be. You could take off the green and make it any kind of good luck. I thought about, it's sectional basketball time here in Indiana, so you could do your school colors and do something with it. Now, I know this doesn't show up right now very well, but when I go over it with my blends, I'm using my Granny Apple green, and there, now you can see the luck so much better. I went ahead and shaded this. I mean, I did super details. Oh, dude, I did the dark and light backwards. Taking pictures of me.
Here, I'll put a picture on it.
Just don't go backwards and see my head.
Oh, you got your hands.
They love the decorations on our heads. Me, not so much.
And it looks so cute on ya.
Yes.
It does. You wear hats well.
My grandchildren will think it was cute on me. So I went ahead and I went dark to light, and I colored this with my blends. I don't need to go into a lot of detail. You guys know how to color. But we love the blends. I like to go light to dark, and I just picked up the wrong one. But then when I laid this on my card, it was okay, but I wanted to shade the outside. So I took my light seafoam, and I just went around the outside of this just a little bit.
Cute.
That is really pretty.
To make it just a little bit different, like a border. Like you didn't notice I had a border on this until I just showed you that I put a border on it. So I went ahead and mounted it on my Granny Apple Green cardstock. I added my fun Granny Apple ribbon to the top. And then it still needed one more thing. So I took my little wreath. I had these little wreaths sitting on my desk. And I unhooked it.
And I love those.
You can unhook these little things, and then it becomes a leafy border.
A garland.
Yeah. So I just took this over the front. To get it to stick to my card, if I turn this down and put it on with a glue dot and hook it on one end, then I can hook it on the other. So that was it. Oh, and I added some little beautiful polka dots that are
right there.
Whoop, whoop. Oh. We hide things from ourselves. These are from the Occasions catalog. So that's the little dots that are in the center.
I'll show them again.
So that was my St. Patrick's Day project.
There's the little dots in the center.
Super cute.
And the shading and the stamping off. All the stuff that you didn't see the first time we showed you the card.
Yeah, it's really cute. That mint melody.
Super cute.
That mint Did I say mint melody?
You did.
I did.
We're going retro today.
Seafoam green.
Date sauce.
Okay. Well, for my project, I am going to show you.
Try to get our stuff out of here so you don't have a mess.
I had the 2 extra little pizza boxes.
Oh, you laid them on my stuff. I wondered why they were there.
Oh, one moment. I'm going to talk about the pizza boxes. I don't know. I bought a slew of these last year. I was really thankful that they went into the new catalog. And they're a bit of a challenge for me to figure out how to get them to work. And so I was determined that I was going to make a little pot of gold, sort of, with the pizza boxes. So what I did, one of the things that I found on the pizza boxes, I had a hard time getting the tops and the bottom, like the top to stay down. It would always want to pop back up. And so what I did is I actually, where the score lines are, I just fold it back and forth a little bit, all the way, well, not a little bit, a lot, so that it's really good and creased. I don't know if have you guys used the pizza boxes much?
Yes, and mine that I posted one today on my YouTube, and the box itself is still joining open, so I'm going to go home and do this to it. So it's not a joiner, because I hate joiners.
Yes, that is a bad thing to have a joiny box.
Good.
That is true. Okay, so how you put these together is you basically just, you take these tabs, and you fold it together like that so that those are tucked in. Then,
I love the way that creases for you. I'm going to go home and do that to mine. That's impressive.
And you don't have a
Joiners.
joingy box.
That's great.
Look at that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Because my lid just stays permanently open, no matter how many times I smash it shut.
I know. That
was worth the price you all paid to be here today.
I just kind of got mad, and I'm like, dang it, I'm going to get this thing to stay down. So that's what happens when you go there in your craft space. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to use the Country Floral Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing Folder. So this real thing,
you get a workout every time you say the name.
I love it. It's beautiful. And so the first thing I tried was I tried to run the whole box through. Okay, this is my practice. It's not too pretty, but it is kind of cool. Like, I like the embossing on the box. Okay, well then I tried that. I didn't like it because it kind of went all the way through the box, and I had some little holes and things, and I was like, that's not so great. But, you know, I had a practice one. So I actually tried the shimmer paint on the back because I thought, well, you know, I wanted a little shimmer, a little goldish looking. Yeah, that's still sticky after like 12 hours of sitting. No bueno. So what I did is I have my box, and then I cut some gold foil paper, and I've got the measurements. It's like 3 3/8 by 3 1/2. And then the side pieces, I've got 3 of them, and they are 3 1/2 by 1 inch. I'll post those so you guys actually have them. I mean, you could probably figure it out, but just to make it easy.
I always love when somebody else does the math for me.
Makes it easy. So we're gonna run this little puppy through. Yeah.
And she's got 3 of them in there at one time, which is brilliant.
Oh, sorry. Oops. Yeah, we make a mess.
Dear life.
It's a ride. Okay. So then you get, oh my gosh, isn't that beautiful?
So
Look how beautiful that is. It made me so happy. It's just, oh, it's scrumptious. It's like, for real, it's like liquid gold. Okay, so I'm going to let you run this one through if you don't mind while I,
Sure.
I like an assistant.
So we should all have a big shot assistant all the time. Just in surgery.
So the next thing I wanted to do is I want to make sure that all of my edges are covered as I'm putting it on there. I don't think using snail is going to be strong enough. So I went ahead and used some of the Terrible tape, and I just went all around the outside and put a couple of, like a cross in the center, an X.
It's actually called Terran tape. We called somebody on stage a couple of years ago called it Terrible tape.
That's probably like 10 years
and
ago.
that stuck. So
Sorry,
everybody knows
tape,
what Terrible tape is. It's not, doesn't mean that it's terrible. It means that it's easy to tear.
But we like Terrible tape.
A lot.
Like it. I like it. Yeah. These little guys aren't quite so staticky, and when you pull the double stick part off.
I think it's the video I posted to YouTube today that has the pizza boxes, because I make tiny little note cards, but I'd already packed everything up to come here, which I didn't even use it, but I put my fast fuse in here, and so I'm filming and I have nothing left on my table to stick my note cards together, so I use Terrible tape. So those are some really stuck together note cards.
Yes, they are. Okay, so now I've got a little edge. I have found that because you're running it through this dynamic texture impressions folder, that was pretty good. It may shrink your paper, or it might stretch it out one way or the other. So even though I cut it correctly, I still have this little extra piece. And so I'm just gonna take my snips and just kind of cut it along the box. And you know, you've got a straight edge, so it works pretty well. Then I'm gonna do essentially the same thing on all four sides. So I'm just gonna put one more on here, and then I'll kind of, okay, so, and again, I've got a little extra on this side, so I'm just gonna trim that off. But you can already start to see how luscious that looks for, like, I mean, that looks like money if you want to.
Treasure box.
Yeah, treasure box, money. Okay, so
it would be so much fun if it wasn't for St. Patrick's Day, if you have kids who are losing their teeth, for the tooth fairy to leave her money in it.
Oh my gosh, well, that would be adorable.
It looks like a tooth fairy box.
Yeah, it does. It looks and a little
like
a little piece of gold left from the tooth fairy. Okay, I'm going to take some of the leaf ribbon. Just a couple little snips. Let's see, it's about, I'm saying 6 inches maybe. And then I'm going to take some of the gold thread. And I like to double this when I use it. It's hard to see, just because it gives me a little bit more to work with. And I'm taking, so I'm just going to tie a little knot just to kind of hold that in place. So nothing too special at the moment. But then I'm going to take some of my gold sequin, I mean this stuff, more liquid gold, and I'm just going to, I also have a hard time working with this because I want it to cut and lay flat, and it just doesn't do that. So I decided to go with just go with it. So I made like a back and forth bow, just loops. Oops. Just back and forth loops. And then I'm also going to take some more of this thread, and like I said, I double it, kind of like you were going to sew something. However, we don't sew things generally. I did see a dress on Pinterest today that was from the 1940s. This is completely off topic. But my son is engaged now, and I mean, I got a lot of time. It's 10/10/20 is the projected wedding date. And I found this dress, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the dress that I want. Because, you know, everybody wants to have a pretty dress for their kids' weddings. And it's from 1940s, and it's like got this, it's like a 3/4 length sleeve. It's kind of just below the knee, and then it's got this cute, like, little cape on it, and it's out of velvet. It was just, oh, it's stunning. Actually, I'll post the link below because you really need to see it. It's so pretty.
Sorry,
and I'm like,
how much
okay,
was
now
it?
where am I? It was on Pinterest. It's a vintage thing. And I'm like,
Well, your mom can make it. Her mom's a fabulous seamstress.
Mom, are you watching? She'll be
Hi,
like,
Ramona.
what?
I just volunteered your seamstress skills.
Yeah. She'll be like, what? I don't know. My soon-to-be daughter-in-law, she actually likes to sew, so.
Oh.
I know.
Well, the bride can make them.
Maybe bride and grandma can
Mother-in-law.
make the bowl or make the dress. So, okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie this little piece of, I'm using the thread that I just, sometimes thread can be cantankerous. Okay. Hang on a minute. All right. You got the two ends, and then you're going to lay this in here. I do this a million times, but okay. So you get the general gist. And then you're gonna fluff it, and you're just gonna take some glue dots, and you're just gonna put your bow on it. Okay, so yeah, that's not the prettiest thing. But look at this one! Isn't that so much fun? And it's not a doinging box. I was so excited to figure out how
I'm
to
just
get
so
that.
impressed that it's shut.
I know!
That it's not doinging.
So here we go. Here's the finished product. And look at the shine. Like you could put that at the end of a rainbow.
You could use them as wedding favors on a
Yeah,
table.
that's one of the things that I was thinking. Because a couple of years ago, a friend of mine wanted me to make 50th anniversary favors. And she wanted like 75 of them. And it was like it was hard to come up with something.
Yeah, this would be beautiful.
So you could do it for silver anniversaries or all kinds of stuff.
And if you just joined us and you've joined late, here are the other two cards, and we will post pictures of them and the snippets of the video that was the close-up of us making them once I get home later this evening. So that was Susan's card. Lots of great tips on that one. And then here was the card that I made. So those were our projects for today. And here's another close-up of the beautiful liquid gold box.
Isn't it beautiful? I love it.
You could put the velvet ribbon on it and it would go with your velvet dress.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it would be pretty.
Put them over here. One last look for this camera.
Oh, yes.
I can't even see if they're in film camera.
Oh, yes. And in the meantime, we're going to fill them in on the...
Yeah, then we can just turn that one off.
Okay. All right.
And as we promised you, we have a little more details about our in-stage, our Indiana event that we're going to have April 13th. Basically, the goal of what we're doing is we're going to start out with this one. We would like to do it a little more frequently. We would like to have one-day events and then possible two-day events. We loved getting together with other demonstrators. We've all three been in the business for over 20 years. And one of the things we miss is getting together with like-minded people, sharing business ideas and stamping ideas, having fun prizes and get-togethers, and just getting to know other demonstrators that are on the same journey we are. The business has changed so much in the last 20 years that we want to share some ideas about the way we like the way things have changed, the things we're working with to change our businesses to go with the changes that Stampin' Up's made, and just society in general has made over the last several years. So we're going to have classes that are for if you want to make Stampin' Up a business. We'll help you and give you ideas on how to do that. If you just are for lack of a better term, a hobby demonstrator or someone who just buys product because they love to stamp, we would love to show you why we think this is the best product on the market and why it's only the only product that we use to make our cards. So we're excited to share it with you.
Yep. And there's going to be some fun perks we're going to come up with for you. First of all, you get to be with us all day. So I promise there'll be music and there might be hats for me. Now, I don't know about them, but I like to liven it up. I have a banana costume. I could pull that out of the closet if I needed to.
I'll wear good shoes, but there will be no hat on my head.
And then what we've made a Pinterest board, and if you come to that day, we're gonna it's by invitation only, but you will get an invite to that Pinterest board. You can put things on that Pinterest board, kind of an inspiration spot on Pinterest. we are going to do swaps. So we'll have a count of how many people are going to be there so you don't have a lot extra and things like that. We are going to do PDFs of all of the projects that we have, and we think we're going to have around 16 projects. All of the projects are going to be we're going to have a lot of fun, but while we're having fun, we're going to talk business, because really I think the way that consumers buy now is a lot of online stuff. There's a lot of online. There's still a lot of in-home presentations, but they're kind of recreated. A lot of more product-based classes and things like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that kind of stuff. So it should be a really fun day. We're going to provide lunch that day, and with the registration. And we're also, Susan's dad went on an honor flight last year, and it was a really, really cool event for her and him to be able to experience. And so one of the things they do on the honor flights is they give every single veteran a card, is it a stack of cards?
It's called mail call, and so they get an envelope with cards from people from all over. They get elementary, our family wrote cards. So there were lots of cards in these envelopes for these veterans. And so my dad had cards from all of us. On the flight home, I sat next to a 94-year-old gentleman, and he had no family that was still living. It was just him. He had never had any children. And so his envelope was full of cards from people like us who had just written, "Thank you for your service." And
kind of gives me goosebumps every time you talk about it.
Gosh, I can get weepy in a heartbeat. But it was just so touching to watch the 94-year-old gentleman open the cards and say, "Oh my gosh, this is the first time I've really been thanked for my service."
And that's sweet.
So it was so touching. So what we want to have is an opportunity for you to bring a card and donate it. It does not have to be a military-based card. They don't care what it looks like. It's the thank you for your service on the inside that's so touching. So it could be any of your swaps or anything you want to bring.
And we'll probably have extra cards on hand in case you forget and you'd like to do it, because we're going to send that on to the Honor Flight program, and just to say thanks, because it's really cool that they do this for these veterans. World War II. Your dad was in World War II?
No, he was Korea.
Korea.
But it was World War II, Korea, and they had some Vietnam veterans on the flight. So
my dad was in Korea. So anyway, that's cool. Not just cool, but it's really cool. And we're also going to do where you can, if you're not going to be there, if you can't make it, if you're out of town, we're going to have kind of a mail to you version so that you can get all of the PDFs, all the information that we have on paper, and any goodies that we have that day. We will send that to you. And we're going to give you that information upcoming. It's in the works. So, but April 13th is the day you want to mark on your calendar, and it's like 10 to 4?
9:30 to 4.
9:30 to 4. So it's not too early. It's going to be on the southwest side of Indianapolis in Mooresville, actually. So it's not too far, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And now Cheri's going to tell you.
And so registration, you may have seen already on this page, there is if you go over to the event side, there will be more information, and that's where you will be able to find the registration form and more information about the event. We'll post it there. Once you have actually paid your registration fee, then there will be a private group where you'll get all of the information as we have more of it, whether you're online or the mailed version or the live version. But the early bird registration will end on March 5th. And on March 4th, if you've registered by then, at different points during the registration process, we're going to do some prizes, and we will have some fun stuff. Like I have one of these that says create, and we have some of these that say stamp. I think we have some that say, what's the washi tape say?
Washi? Stay.
Stay,
right
yeah.
back there.
So we have some of the fun
several
things that you've seen in our films, and those will be some of the prizes. So at different surprise points during the registration process, if you've registered, then everybody that's registered to that point
will be eligible
to have their name drawn out. So the earlier you register, the more chances you'll have to win. And then we'll announce those at points during our lives, and then you'll be able to pick up your prize. the earlier you win, the earlier you'll get to pick that day, because we'll have all the prizes there and you'll get to pick the earlier
day
you are
of, yeah.
at the event.
And if you're a mail-in, then we'll just, we'll contact you with that.
Yeah.
If you register, your registration won't be held until we get payment. So you'll be able to pay by check, PayPal, or Venmo. So there's several different ways you can pay, and that'll be on the registration. But if you send in your if you say, hey, I want to come, and we don't have your registration by mail yet, then you won't be in the door prizes. So don't think just because you put your name in, you're in for the door prizes. We'll need your payment before we put you in for those.
Right. And all of that information we'll put over on the event page, which will, hopefully I'll get it up tonight. If not, definitely by tomorrow. Seems like there was something else I was supposed to say. But most of the information we'll have over on the thing. We'll have, I think we said the PDFs.
Should I tell them about the page in the group yet?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. If we can figure out where it's at.
Okay.
Oh, and if you want the information emailed to you, then you can ask and we will email it, because this is open to any active demonstrator. And you have to, I would say you have to live in the United States, but you don't really have to. If somebody lives in Canada and they want to come, or lives from someplace else, to buy stuff, normally you say you have to live in the U.S., but anybody you just have to be active. You don't have to be in our group. So if you want any of the flyers or the sign-up forms, just let us know and we will send those to you. I will say, it's not just part of this, but we have added a question now to this group, and it says who has referred you. So if you refer anybody every once in a while, when we get somebody that's referred, then we will send the person who did the referring some thank you cards that we've made, and it may be some of the stuff that we've made from this. So it'll be a chance for us to thank you for referring people to our group. So that is a question, and so the more people we get in here, the more people that we'll be able to have to our events.
Susan took her hat off.
That's because
I'm done
behind the camera.
I don't know. I think it's fun. Don't you like our hats? Comment if you think we need to wear hats and have props.
Please don't. Please don't.
Some fun things.
So I think our live next week is Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll be back on Monday. That's not very many days from now.
Spring breaks are coming up, so in the next few weeks we're going to have
This will be the first March in 4 years that I've spent the whole entire March at home.
In Indianapolis.
But now she's, for the first March in forever,
in my life.
She's going on vacation. She's so excited. New York City. So one of the drawings may be live from New York.
Maybe.
So I think that's all we have for you. If you have any questions, you can ask them down below, because it's getting late and we need to go. But just ask them down here, and then we will answer you.
By.
Oh, I did want to say, one of the questions on the registration form will be, one of the sessions that we'll have will be not social media, not in home, but no matter how you do your business, if you do business, what is your biggest question, or a couple of
obstacle.
them, so that way we would, because there's one class that we're still kind of working out, so that will be on the registration form. So be thinking of that before you register, so you could, your number 1, number 2 question, and it can be social media, in person, how to get started, how to whatever. So that will be on there. So
we want to help you guys. See you later.
Bye.